Carroll bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues, the official Wycombe Wanderers podcast in partnership with Virgin Media. On the show this week we have all the action and reaction from the game against Peterborough United at London Road, and we also hear from Wycombe Wanderers fan Thomas Barker, who's just got back from an epic journey, and he joins us for Till Death Us Do Parts. But before all of that, let's head to Mexico City for the full Liga Juan results with Uri.
We are ringing the blues from Mexico City. It's me, Uri, and here are the results for League 1. Crawley Town 1, Reading 1, Stockport County 0, Charlton Athletic 0, Barnsley 0, Blackpool 3, Birmingham City 1, Lincoln City 0, Bristol Rovers 1, Huddersfield 0, Burton Albion 1, Bolton Wanderers 2, Exeter City 2, Shrewsbury Town 0, Leyton Orient 1, Northampton Town 2, Peterborough United 1, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Stevenage 1, Mansfield Town 1, Wigan Athletic 1, Cambridge United 0, Wrexham 1, Rotherham United 0. So the officials disallowed a few Richard Kone goals on Saturday. He kept going and scored his 17th Liga 1 goal of the season in injury time. So, Chairboys Spanish this week, disallowed goals. Well, we know how to say goal in Spanish. We say goal. You don't only say goal. You say goal with many O's. Many O's, sorry. And disallowed, okay. Let's go again to Latin etymologies. We say annular, from the Latin null, that means nothing, void, null. Annular, void, to disallow a goal. Gol anulado. Disallowed goals, plural, goles anulados. Goles anulados. Okay, so that's it for this week, and back to England with mi amigo Filiberto Cachapollos. Adios.
Cheers, Uri. Right then, Wycombe Wanderers were on the road again, heading to Peterborough to take on the Posh. Here's what happened. It's low. Oh, that's a poor pass. Gives the ball now to Odu. Odu in the box. Goes on the outside. Big shout for penalty, and it's given. Josh Scowen on Abraham Odu. And it's a penalty to the Posh in the 13th minute. It was a poor ball from Joe Lowe. It'll be Malik Mothersill from the spot then, up against Will Norris. Right foot of Malik Mothersill now. It's been quite a long time since the award of this penalty, to it being taken in front of the fans, the Peterborough fans behind the goal of Will Norris. Referee Scott Oldham now wants to talk to Will Norris. I think just reminding him about staying on his line, and Will Norris there saying he couldn't hear, so then walks towards the referee, again eating in to the time taken for this penalty. Then Mothersill up against Will Norris, big moment. Stutters, sends the keeper the wrong way, and Peterborough have the lead here. Peterborough 1, Wycombe 0. Malik Mothersill from the penalty spot. That's double figures for him this season in goals. And Peterborough United then have first blood in this one. We said it wouldn't be 0-0, and we were right. Eden goes long into the Wycombe area with a free kick. Lowe wins the header. It drops down though to Hughes. Hughes sets it to Cipriani, who goes to shoot. He does. Oh, and Norris drops it and hits the post. Real hats off there for Wycombe Wanderers. Norris got 2 gloves to it. It looked to be a comfortable take. He fumbled it. It strikes the post. Udo's through at the other end. Down Udo. Great save from Jed Steer. Kone goes for goal. Side foots it wide from 25 yards. End-to-end stuff here at London Road. Will Norris drops the ball in his goal line. It hits the post. Wycombe goes straight up the other end. Udo through the middle. 1-on-1 with Jed Steer. Steer wins the day there. Great save from him. Kone on the rebound, not far away, but it remains Peterborough 1, Wycombe 0. Well. This is Joe Lowe now. Wycombe Wanderers looking a little more assured already in this second half. Oh, that's a touchdown by the defender, gives it to Kone. Kone goes for goal, right off the post. Udo's on the overlap, and then Humphrey's shot is charged down and goes out for a corner. Wycombe Wanderers inches away from the equaliser. It's a defensive mistake from Peterborough. Kone was on it, sharpish, and his shot has rattled the upright. Udo was nearly onto the rebound. Humphreys had the third go, and his shot was heroically blocked behind for a corner. And Leahy to take the corner for Wycombe Wanderers, their first of this contest. Fantastic stuff there from Kone. Steer beating all ends up. But can Wycombe make it count from the corner? Leahy swings it in. It's a good ball into the back post. Kone has scored for Wycombe. It's been given as a foul. Kone heads into the empty net. And there's a foul somewhere in the... as the ball was swung in. Wycombe Wanderers though looking more threatening in this second half already. Good finish from Kone. Kone on the left wing. Walling comes across and fouls Kone, handles the ball. Wycombe take it quickly now. Berry. Good cover from Cipriano, alive to it. Udo. Berry now, edge of the area. Berry falls over and is fouled. Free kick to Wycombe Wanderers. And the irony of football is Peterborough fans are singing "You're not fit to referee" Scott Oldham. I think Wycombe fans have had similar comments this afternoon. Tough job for the official. He's pacing out 10 yards. Peterborough now having to retreat 5 yards back to that line. And they do so. Labala's over the free kick. Leahy's placing it down on the turf. Big moment this for Wycombe Wanderers. Can they find their way through? This is taking a huge amount of time to engineer this situation. Will this be added on at the end of the 6 minutes? You very much hope it will. Hope doing a bit of lifting there. Leahy and Labala then. It's going to be Leahy into the wall. Leahy again. Kone scores! Wycombe have found their way through at the death. Richard Kone with his 17th goal of the season. The ball ricocheted off the wall. It hit back to Leahy. His shot ricocheted to Kone, and he made no mistake. Wycombe Wanderers have got the equaliser in stoppage time. And there's 4 minutes left, at least. Peterborough 1, Wycombe 1. Richard Kone. He's made a goals, this man. Can he find another one? His 4th goal against Peterborough this season. Right, rescued a point there at the death. How do you feel on the game?
Disappointed, if I'm honest. Relieved with the point, I'll be honest with you, but disappointed. The first half was nowhere near the level that I expect and the standards which the group have set, and there were some choice words at half time. Probably the right phrase to use. You can do all the preparation you want, you can do all the kind of planning you want, you can do all your diligence on the opposition and how we want to play and the things we want to do, but sometimes in football you've got to roll your sleeves up and dig in, and I was disappointed with the first half. Second half, there was only one team in the game really, but in my head the first half's nowhere near acceptable. Second half is somewhere near the levels that we expect.
What disappointed you in that first half?
Energy levels, our quality with the ball was really poor. If I compare Tuesday night to this evening in terms of the things we did on Tuesday night compared to this afternoon, it was nowhere near the same level. The energy levels, the intensity, overall quality. I was really disappointed with the first half, and the players are as well. You know, they know it as well. You know, some of the senior boys at half time, they gave their honest opinion as well. But I said to the group, it's a really important crossroads for us because we haven't played particularly well for 45 minutes. We played much better for 45 minutes. We've come out with a point. It could be a really important point for us come the kind of start of May. So it's a really important crossroads for us. I seen a group in particular in the second half that rolled their sleeves up and probably took the tactics out of the game a little bit and just tried to bring more energy and life because the first 45 wasn't acceptable.
You gave a lot of players their chance off the bench as well, and a debut in there too for James Berry.
Yeah, James has been working hard. He's got lots of ability. He's a really good signing for the kind of long-term future of the football club. I'm really excited to work with him. You know, he's had to be patient for his opportunity, but you know we've got a lot of really, really good players in the squad, and there's players that weren't in the squad today that are also very talented. So it was always going to be my biggest challenge coming into the role. I know that when I kind of signed up to the job, and it will continue to be the case for the remaining games of the season. Looking at the comments during the commentary, Richard Kone's header that was disallowed by the referee, a lot of the fans, although Wycombe fans would say this, disagreed with that decision. The lads were really disappointed in there. I'll be honest with you, I've come straight out and obviously spoke to you guys, so I've not had an opportunity to watch it back, but they're really disappointed with the decision. My focus is always on the process and the outcome. I was happy obviously the process leading up to the game, the kind of product in terms of, in particular, the first 45 minutes I was nowhere near happy with. So my focus is on that, not in terms of refereeing decisions, because if we perform better, we haven't got to rely on the referee. And Richard Kone did get his goal though, and it came in stoppage time. A lovely finish by the boy. Yeah, I'm pleased for him. Obviously he's still finding his fitness. It's 90 minutes. I still think we can get more out of him. I still think he's in terms of what I've watched previously, his best is still to come, which will only help us leading up to the final games of the season. And this sets the scene perfectly for a massive game at Adams Park next Saturday against Wrexham. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We're really confident. You know, they've got good players. We've got good players, so it'll be a really, really good game. It was a really good advertisement for League One football, and we'll be preparing as thoroughly as we have prepared in the previous games since I've been. Rich, congratulations on the goal, an important goal.
Yeah. To be fair, the boys have been excellent. I know the first half wasn't our best performances, but yeah, we digged up second half and we got our reward. I know we should have been at least 1 or 2-0 in the first half, but it was good that we responded the way we did in the second half, and at the end we get a point, but it's better than losing the game.
I think it summed up your character. You hit the post, you had a goal disallowed, you worked so hard up top today, you must have been thinking it wasn't your day, but I guess until the whistle goes you're still in the game.
Yeah, 100%. That's what you have to do. No matter how the game doesn't go your way, you still have to keep playing, keep doing what you know, and at the end I get a goal after all the disallowed goal and the post and all that, but yeah, it was good, man.
Talk us through the goal, because it came off a deflection, I guess. It landed at your feet, but once it got to you, you knew exactly what to do.
Yeah. Great play for Luke after the free kick, and he hit it back, and yeah, thank God I was in the right position and just have to smash it home.
And when you hit the post, I thought that one was in too.
Yeah, I thought that one was in as well, because the way I hit it, I thought, yeah, that's going in, and all of a sudden I hit the post. But to be fair, I think I would have get the 3 point instead of scoring goals, because the 3 point would have taken us way up the point. We had a lot of points, but yeah, I think it was better in the second half. I think we have to start a game like that instead of just let people play and do what they know. We should just come out straight away and do our thing. But go home with a point, and I think that's what we can have.
Talk about your sort of personal thoughts as well. You had a spell out injured, but back out on the pitch and back in the goals today. So how does that feel?
Yeah, it's always good to come back and score a goal. But after being out for 2 or 3 weeks, I had this stupid injury. So yeah, but it felt good to have a 90-minute in the tank and at least get a goal. It's always good to get a goal. I'm really happy.
And Wycombe are still in a fantastic position as well, heading into the run-in now. How does that feel from where you've come in recent years to be in the top end of League One in a promotion battle?
Yeah, it's at the moment we're a bit of not pressure, but as long as we keep on doing our thing, keep winning games, I think we're calm. If we keep winning game, I think we'll be really calm until the end of the season. But we still have to keep pushing. We want to support the fan like they did today, pushing us through the game, and yeah, we keep on fighting until we get to that end of season, and hopefully we get automatic promotion.
And the new haircut makes me easier to spot you on the pitch now. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I wanted a bit of change, innit? So yeah, that's why I went back to the old me when I was at non-league. So I just had a bit of fresh energy, and yeah, that was it.
Well done today, and see you next Saturday.
Thank you.
Good to hear from Richard Kone and head coach Mike Dodds. But what about the Peterborough fans? Well, we've scanned through the best of social media and the forums to find the opposition view. Snoozy.
Bash threw away 2 much-needed points today, a goal up and cruising, but our inability to get a second goal, plus the usual inept game management, yet again, let Wanderers back into the game. Guess which half-time talk worked, and where the blame lies.
Deeping Posh 61.
I thought that was a point hard won, and not too last. It was disappointing that we didn't keep a clean sheet, but it was a solid performance by everyone. Although, other than the penalty, we didn't really get much else on target. Much improved performance though. Up the Posh!
New Fari.
I actually enjoyed that game, particularly the first half. We showed far more commitment and general accuracy with the ball. You wouldn't have known the 2 teams' respective league positions, and if we were profligate with our chances, then Wycombe were even more so. There was an appalling inevitability about our injury time concession, but it was probably a fair result given our second half slump. We should be okay though. The team have improved considerably over the last 5 or 6 games.
Banner.
My view is that we should have won that game, definitely. And I'm not saying that in a blindly biased way. We were certainly the better team. Plus, we actually tried to play football and should have scored 3 or 4, missing some seriously clear-cut chances. Wycombe were solid, but absolutely nothing special. They just kept hoofing it up to Kone and his mate, who would try and bully the defenders. Kone looked a great player though, a massive cut above anything we have. He's a dirty player though. Every time the ball was hoofed up to him, he would use his hands and arms and body non-stop. The ref probably only gave 50% as fouls. The worst foul was the one on Wallen in injury time, just before Wycombe scored. It was never a foul by Wallen. Kone literally dragged him to the floor after he was tackled. The ref absolutely did us over there. A sucker punch of a goal to concede.
Lots.
It was a great point. Let's be honest. Despite us playing really well, we got a lucky penalty for our goal and then conceded to the most clinical striker in the league for theirs. The gulf in quality showed.
Pompey Posh.
So frustrating right at the end. Albeit, a draw probably was a fair result. We were good first half, but they upped it in the second and pressed us far higher. We couldn't get out of our half for about 20 minutes. We win that game comfortably with a proper striker. The refereeing in the last 2 weeks has been abysmal. We should have had a second pen in the first half, and Wycombe got away with a handball on the halfway line in the move leading up to the free kick, and ultimately their equaliser.
Dan Wood.
I thought Posh played really well today. Plenty of desire, but we were our own worst enemy again. We create chances, but don't take them. Just shoot. Go forward and shoot. Wycombe have the best away record in the league, though, so the fact we drew is actually okay. How they're second, though, I don't know.
Sean.
The harsh reality is they got a point purely due to the difference between their number 9 and ours. Apart from his disallowed goals, Kone had 2 chances. He rattled the post with one and buried the other. For us, our JJ missed from 2 yards out, and Brad was totally ineffective. It's absolutely gutting.
Chompy 1.
Kone was clearly offside for their goal, but he was different gear. Definite Ivan Toney vibes there, and he's still so young. Too good for Henning Ben's mob.
Eddie.
Keep watching that equaliser, and it's just so Peterborough United for a stoppage time free kick to hit the wall, be mishit at the second attempt, and then deflect straight to their striker. I swear this kind of thing doesn't happen to anyone else.
There's been a rumour that there's a new lightning-fast player in town, and I can confirm these rumours are correct. Virgin Media is here and is guaranteed to be a crowd pleaser. If you're tired of your broadband giving you the blues every time you want to do something, fear not. Virgin Media are right here in Wycombe and have brought their lightning-fast full fibre to the area to keep you entertained in between matches. Tuck into as many live sporting events, movies, games and tunes as your heart desires. Not forgetting our podcast with unlimited downloads on Virgin Media's intelligent Wi-Fi. All delivered at the speeds you need to keep the whole house happy. And the best part is, you don't need to wait until the next transfer window to make Virgin Media your favourite signing of the season. Find out more at virginmedia.com or drop into your local O2 store. New customers only, eligible Virgin Fibre areas only, subject to survey, network capacity and credit check. Supporting a football club is like a marriage. Your club is there for life through the good times and the bad. We ask Chairboys fans for their most cherished old memory, their current favourite player, the best borrowed player we've ever had, and for something blue, we talk club merchandise. Okay, joining us this week is Thomas Barker. Tom, good to see you. How are you?
I'm good. I've had quite the adventure, but I'm here now.
Absolutely. We got in touch, or you got in touch with me whilst you were in Argentina watching Wycombe Wanderers games on Wanderers TV. So it's great to finally speak to you, even though it's over Zoom. But yeah, tell us about your story, because it is an adventure. What were you doing in Argentina?
So my original plan was to attempt a world record and be the youngest person to ride around the world on a motorbike. But after England, France, Spain and half of Argentina, I had an accident and the bike's been written off. So I made the most of my time there and bought another bike there and rode around for a bit. And yeah, and then I eventually flew to Colombia, where I bought another bike and rode around Colombia, Ecuador and Peru for a while. And yeah, I've been exploring and watching Wycombe games from all over South America.
I think the first message you sent me was saying I'm here in the homeland of Franco Ravazzoli, watching the Wycombe games, and then that was it. And then you kept messaging in during games, and then obviously we have Ross, our former kit man, who's in Ecuador, who messages in, and then you messaged me one day saying, you talk about this guy in Ecuador. So then I connected you two up, and then you ended up going to visit him. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I thought I needed to go to Ecuador anyway to renew the temporary import permit for the bike, but I thought I'd message him and see whereabouts he is. Turns out he's in the furthest corner of Ecuador, and I decided to set myself a challenge and see if I could do the 1,700 kilometers over mountains and all sorts of terrain in 3 days. And I managed to do that so I could watch I think it was the FA Cup game where we lost, but we did all right. And then I decided I liked the place, so I stayed there, and I stayed with him for a week and watched the next game.
Incredible. So you cycled 1,700 miles to watch a Wycombe Wanderers game, the other side of the world, with another Wycombe Wanderers fan. So I guess the point being then, you are the other side of the world having this wonderful adventure, but Wycombe Wanderers was your link to home.
Yeah, and it was very nice to see light and dark blue quarters while I was out there. It was so strange, but it was great. And it was nice to have someone to talk about it with, and another person who also is very passionate about the team. And it was really good. He was a very nice guy and very welcoming, so that was good.
Well, Ross has been on this feature, and he kind of described to me that he's sort of in the rainforest in Ecuador. You've been there and seen it. Is that a fair description?
I'd say so. I think it's a very nice house that he's in, but the area is, I wouldn't say it's remote, but at points the road was washed away and we were cut off from the town for a couple of days. You couldn't get through on motorbikes. You could probably walk through a river on the side of the road, but no, not on the side of the road, next to the river. So there's two roads that go down the river, and then it was sort of washed away both sides. So you'd have to climb over rocks and things like that. But yeah, it is in the jungle, and I've got some nice drone footage as well.
Amazing. So you're back in the UK now in your Wycombe Wanderers shirt. Where does the story with Wycombe Wanderers begin?
Well, it was my dad's side of the family. So he grew up in Wycombe, and so did all of his family. And we've always gone to Wycombe games, and yeah, that's sort of it. I've never lived in Wycombe, but I've always been visiting people there, and obviously we've gone to games, and it just, the light and dark blue, it just feels like me, and it feels like home, which is nice.
And I suppose that was a point I made earlier on, that no matter where you were in the world, what time of day it was, to be able to tune in and see that. Yeah. And then it's your link to, because it can be lonely travelling on your own and being in a strange place. So I guess was it a bit of a comfort blanket being able to have that link? Yeah,
so I didn't watch the games for quite a while. I had other things to worry about. But after a while, I thought, I'll log back in and start watching all the games again. And it gave me something to look forward to while I wasn't doing anything. And that was really nice as well. I couldn't do it with any other team. It's just Wycombe.
Let's get stuck into the questions. And I feel that some of these may well be recent because you've had such an amazing last sort of recent period in your life. So your favourite ever Wycombe Wanderers memory, something old, your favourite ever Wycombe Wanderers memory, what is it?
I remember going to watch Wycombe versus Southend at Wembley a good few years ago.
Yeah.
Which was, that was pretty cool. The whole experience, everything. We lost on penalties because they equalised in the 97th minute out of 96. But that was a good experience overall. I remember being at Adams Park and the family stands, and we had a thing where every time my brother went to the toilet, Wycombe would score. That still happens. It's very strange, but every time he goes to the toilet, Wycombe score. I remember seeing some great goals, and I remember a couple by JJ when he curled them in from the corner, and we were right there in the middle of it all, and that was very good. Yeah.
I love these superstitions that fans make, because remember when I was a kid on the terrace with my mates from school. I'm old enough, so when there would be the lucky cigarette, there'd be the lucky Twix that someone would go at half. If we needed a goal, we'd dispatch someone off to the T-bar. Had to be a certain person. Had to be a certain point of the game. Had to be a Twix.
Yeah.
To make Wycombe win. And if it, on the rare occasion that it came through, it felt like it was us that had done it. How old's your brother?
He's 18.
Okay, so he's old enough to drink. So if we can,
He is now, yeah.
if we can pump loads of beers into him before a game, and he can make him go to the toilet a lot between now and May, then we should get promoted, right?
Yeah, well, hopefully. I'll send him off to a game with some beers. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, just make sure he can get to the toilet. That's fine. That's perfect. I like these things. These only really happen at football. These crazy things that don't make any sense at all unless you're there. And then, you must be, when he goes to the toilet, everyone must be very excited.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens.
Wembley 2015, I remember that very well. You like to say the penalties, but such an unlikely period for Wycombe because we weren't really meant to be challenging for promotion, so it all felt sort of very new at the time and very kind of, I don't know, unexpected, and it felt like a no-lose situation, although we did lose, but it didn't have any pressure on it, did it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was pretty good. I don't remember all of it because it was 2015, I was 13 at that point.
Okay.
But yeah, I do remember that game and going and the losing feeling, but still walking home from Wembley after watching Wycombe play, which was pretty big for 13-year-old me.
Absolutely. I remember my first trip to Wembley with Wycombe. It was the old Wembley. That's how old I am. And it's something special about the home of football, your club being there. And equally, it's quite easy to get to from Wycombe as well. So a short motorcycle ride now in your time.
Yes, yeah. Although at the time, I didn't have that option, so we drove to Wycombe and went on the train with all the other ones, which is pretty cool.
Okay, on to something new. Your favourite player in the current squad?
That's a good question. I like Kone.
Yeah.
I think most people do. I think he's a big asset for our team. And I don't know, just watching him play, you can see that he's always looking ahead, maybe too far ahead some points, but yeah, he's always on it, and he likes the ball in the back of the net, as we all do. But
he's just got, there's a real danger about him. There's a real air of anticipation now when he's on the pitch, which is brilliant. We had a few games where he was unavailable due to injury, but it's a real excitement about him being in the team, isn't there, when he's back?
Yeah, definitely. It was very nice to see him back after the injury. But we did have a couple of players step up.
Yeah, Dan Udo scored doing well recently as well. But I love the team spirit of the strikers, especially. It's strong throughout Wycombe, but, Fred Onyedinma, Kone, Udo, Bezla, and there seems to be, amongst others, there seems to be a bit of a union between them all, and they all seem to celebrate each other's achievements as much as their own. Richard Kone has recently dyed his hair. It was kind of orange against Birmingham, but now it's kind of gone a bit blonder yellow. I can't do this because I haven't got any hair, but would you consider doing a Richard Kone in show of support?
Oof, I don't know. I've never dyed my hair, but I know some people that probably would. So I'd consider it. I'm not completely sure it's my style, but
I can't do it. I mean, I did used to dye my hair when I was a kid, and that's probably why I haven't got any now. So use that as a word of warning, anyone listening to this considering it. But it would be good to see a terrace full of Kone haircuts. I think that'd be lovely, especially when the sun comes out and we're still in second, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Are you hopeful? We talk about Richard Kone. He's one of the big reasons, along with many others, why Wycombe are in the second in the table. Are you hopeful that we can stay there?
Always hopeful. I've heard people say that it's impossible that we can catch up to Birmingham, but in reality, it's possible. Whether it's likely or not is a different question. But I think coming game against Wrexham will definitely show something.
Yeah.
If we can win, then we've definitely got a chance.
I love the fact you're still thinking about first place because it is mathematically possible. And I think, it's good to dream big. I like that. It's good. Second will get us up automatically as well. But yeah, you're right. The Wrexham game is going to be huge. This will be going out the Monday before that Wrexham game. So excitement will be building for that match. But yeah, that's going to be a big one. Wycombe Wanderers against Hollywood, because obviously everyone's interested in Wrexham. Even my mates who know nothing about football are all of a sudden aware that Wrexham are playing Wycombe Wanderers. So how does it feel to be sort of, hopefully a party pooper in what will be a Hollywood script? I guess all good films need a point where there's some real sort of heartache. And I don't think Wrexham have experienced that, have they? They need that in their plot twist.
Yeah, I think I haven't really been following Wrexham that much. I've just been seeing them in the table, nibbling at our back end of it. But, if we can beat them, which fingers crossed we will, I'll get Charlie to go to the toilet a few times.
Yes, absolutely.
Then, that would definitely give us a big boost in morale.
Okay, Ryan Reynolds, if you're watching this, and there's no good reason why you shouldn't be, if you do lose to Wycombe at Adams Park, it's because there's a guy called Charlie that's gone to the toilet a few times. Stick that in your documentary. Right. On to something borrowed. Your favourite ever loanee, and we've got some good ones at the moment.
We have. I'm a big fan of Bradley. I think he got right into the team. He sort of got thrown in the deep end. So we signed him a day or two after he was in the squad, and second game scored. And he commands the back line. And I think he does a very good job, not just with himself. He's a great defender, but he also helps out everyone else and keeps the back end strong. And I think that's really good.
He commands respect as well, doesn't he? He's quite an intimidating figure, isn't he?
Yeah. Weirdly, he reminds me of Joe Wilkinson just by his looks, the long hair and the beard. I think he looks like Joe Wilkinson, which is quite funny. So it's weird to see him so strong and yeah.
One of the things you messaged me when you were on your journeys on your motorbike was cycling down a road called the Trampoline of Death. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because and I'll bring this back to Sonny in a second. But yeah, what's the Trampoline of Death, and how and where and how does it work?
So the Trampoline of Death was Trampoline de la Muerte in Spanish, and it's just a road linking to sort of small cities, big towns, and it's all mud and gravel, and when it rains it's pretty bad. There's landslides there, and there's trucks overtaking each other and backing up to get to different places, and a lot of the time there's vertical drops and there's waterfalls and there's rivers across the road, and it's an experience. There's some amazing views, and I've got some nice drone footage of that, which I'll be posting at some point. I will be doing YouTube as well. I've been recording quite a lot and making notes, and at some point I'll be editing all that to put out. So there'll be some videos of the Trampoline of Death. On the way up it though, my chain snapped, which was pretty bad, but luckily I was still going up the hill. So it was like a 2 or 3 mile push down the hill to get to the nearest town, where someone left and brought me back a little 50p chain link and popped it in and sent me back off up the Trampoline of Death.
It sounds like you need to have nerves of steel and pretty resolute and be a bit tough to do this. So my question linking this to, is which Wycombe player is most likely to be able to complete the Trampoline of Death? Because I would back Sonny Bradley to do this. So yeah, who's got the minerals to be able to do the Trampoline of Death?
That is a very good question. I'd probably agree saying Sonny Bradley. I don't know what it is, but he's just so confident, and he always seems to know what he's doing. And yeah,
he's got that sort of tough guy look, and I can imagine him riding a big motorbike.
Yeah, I can imagine that too. Yeah.
Well, maybe after he's retired in many, many, many years, Sonny Bradley can maybe take on the trampoline of death, and we'll cover that too. Sino John Barty, former Wycombe Wanderers player, I'd imagine has probably already done it. I'd imagine he would do it as well. That's the sort of thing that he would do in his spare time.
Yeah.
Right, we're on to something blue. Your idea for the club shop. What merchandise is Wycombe missing out on? What should we be selling? It could even be motorbike related, Tom.
Yes, I've been thinking. I would like to see some snoods. I'm not completely sure if we do them or not, but I haven't seen any, like a neck tube sort of thing.
Okay.
Because, well, they're good for anything. People with or without bikes wear them. And I think that could be something which would be pretty good. My dad has also said a few times that he'd like to see a light and dark blue quarters on the top of my helmet.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's a pretty good idea.
Okay, so...
Maybe not helmets in the shop, but stickers.
But yes, stickers for bike helmets. Yeah, incredible. Yeah. Okay, that's a good idea. I like this. Yeah. Is there perhaps scope for like a motorbike community of Wycombe Wanderers fans? People complain about how long it takes to get in and out of Adams Park in a car, but surely if you're on two wheels, it'd be quicker.
Yeah, I mean, it's quicker to get anywhere on two wheels, especially Adams Park, right at the end of that road. I mean, I've taken my bike there before and it's no problem. Maybe we could start getting some bikers together on match days at Adams Park. That'd be pretty good.
And hopefully we don't need to go to Wembley this year because automatic promotion, but there is the Ace Cafe, which is very near to Wembley Stadium, which is a huge bike hangout, isn't it? There's a lot of meets happen there.
Yeah, I know it used to be huge and it's still got that history and heritage, which is really good. But I think after they put up all the cameras outside, it sort of died down a bit, which is good and bad. But yeah, maybe we can make Adams Park the new Ace Cafe.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Well, finally, we've got to ask you a bit more about your week in Ecuador, because it still fascinates me that we had two Wycombe fans connected via Wanderers TV initially, meeting up in the middle of nowhere, watching games together. Did any of the locals join in and get as excited as you and Ross about watching Wycombe?
We did get a couple of people involved. So I only realised on the way down there that the match wasn't going to be on Wanderers TV. So we had to search for somewhere that had Disney Plus and try and get it on there. And we ended up in quite a nice restaurant bar sort of area. And it was 10 in the morning our time. So there weren't many people there, but there were a couple of people coming in for breakfast and seeing us getting ready to cheer when we scored. And Ross was trying to contain himself because he thought he'd explode when we scored and annoy the managers there. But we had a couple of friends come and join us for the game, which was nice. And even the people that worked there, they were standing by the bar watching, which was also really good.
So no matter how far you are from home, you're always close to a Wycombe Wanderers fan. And I'm guessing now you've got a friend for life in Ross.
Yeah, I think we got on very well, and that connection really helped. And yeah, I think if he comes back, then I'll sort him somewhere to stay, and we can watch a couple of Wycombe games.
Incredible. Well, final question: any more plans to do any crazy trips?
Currently, I don't have any plans. I've literally just got back from the last one, and I have had ideas for future adventures, but I think I've learned quite a bit from the last trip, and I know I need to prepare a bit more and make sure I'm ready to go. If I can, I would really like to do Africa at some point.
Yes.
I think that would be pretty big, and I'll make sure I get a Starlink so I can still watch the Wycombe games from wherever I am.
There we are. You could motorcycle through the Ivory Coast in your Richard Kone shirt. There you go.
Yeah, I could do.
Love that. Well, Tom, you're an inspiration. I always think going to Exeter on a Tuesday night is like going to the end of the world. You've driven the length of Argentina on a motorbike and done it in real life. So I take my hat off to you, mate. Well done. And keep following the Blues. and you never know who you'll meet next in whatever corner of the world you end up in.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been quite an adventure, and I have many, many stories to tell, which is very good for a 22-year-old.
Absolutely, mate. Keep going.
Thank you very much. I will.
Right, that's it for this week's episode of Ringing the Blues in partnership with Virgin Media. We'll be back next week with news of the big game against Wrexham at Adams Park. Hopefully see you at Adams Park, and if not, don't worry, because Wanderers TV has got you covered. Come on, you Blues.